Hello everyone, so in this video we'll go over how to create a parish process and how we can receive or make submissions. So there are two ways we can do this, either with the software or with the AI assistant Father Gregory. So I'll show you how we can do this within the software. So we'll go over how we can create a parish process to manage baptism applications for this example, but obviously you can customize it and create parish processes to manage anything. So if we go and click on new process, and so what would you like to manage? We'll type in baptism applications. We click next. And so next it asks how we want the information to be collected. So in this case, I want to allow people to fill out the form online. So I'm going to click this. So this just means that anyone with the link can make entries. So for example, you can put this link on your parish website, or you can share a QR code. As well as that, as it says here, you can also make submissions yourself. So with the first option, only you can make submissions or entries, but with this one, you allow the public to make entries as well. So the next part is where we want to state which information we need to collect. So I'm going to skip over the AI suggestions for now. So we have two buttons, add field and add text. Add field allows you to take in some information. Add text allows you to tell the person who's filling the form something. So if we look at a normal form, we can see that these would be fields, so like child's full name, date of birth, those would be fields, and things like this would be text. So what we can do is, here we have some AI suggested fields. So what we can do is we can just click on them and it will add that field. So for this example, we'll use child's full name, we'll use the date of birth, we'll use the parent guardian contact email, and we'll add a few other fields as well. So we'll use a add field button to create one for the father's name. So when we click on add field, we get the option to choose between these types of inputs. So for example, we can have text input, email input, or allow them to input their phone number or a specific date, a number, multi-line text for larger text entries, and we have drop down select, where you want the person filling out the form to select from a few options. So for father's name, we'll just use text, father's name, and we can also set these to be required and not required. So if we want to edit any of these, we just click on the pencil button, and for child's full name, we'll set it to be required. So we've done the father's name, and we'll also add the mother's name. And we'll also add a phone number. We'll say parents' phone number. And we'll also ask which church they would like the baptism to take place. So for this example, say we have two churches, or we want them to select between two things. What we can do is use the drop down /select. So we want to ask, which church do you want the baptism? So now we can give them options to choose from. So let's say Sacred Heart is one option, and St. Cuthbert's is another option. Okay, so we've got these fields, and let's have a look at how we can add a text field. So we just click on add text, and here we can write in whatever we want to show the person filling out the form. So let's say we want to put exactly this in. So baptism application form, please ensure that all information is filled out accurately, etc. So we can just come here, I'll paste this. So let's format it properly. And so we can make this bigger with the H1, H2, H3, and we can make this underlined. And so now if we click done, that will appear here. So we want this to appear at the top. So what we can do is just click and drag it to the top. Okay, so with the add field, another thing you can do is set it to be a field where only staff or admin can enter into that field. So for example, if we want a field to note the date of baptism, we could have that. So we'll say a date of baptism. So we don't want the person who's filling out the form to be able to set this field. So what we can do is we can say it's only visible to staff, so only we'll be able to fill out this bit. Done. Okay, so now we've added all of these fields. So now we can click next. Okay, so with tracking steps, it allows you to easily see where something is up to. So this might not be applicable to all parish processes, but we'll use them for this. So for baptism applications, we've got some suggestions. We'll use application received. We'll use, we'll say in progress. And for this, we'll use a yellow color. And we'll also have one for baptism completed. We'll make this green. Okay. So the next thing is checkpoints. So these are things that you would have to do for every entry, or in this case, every application. Again, it might not be applicable for every process, but for baptisms, we'll say things like, we'll say fee confirmed, we'll say baptism course completed, and we'll say registered in records. Okay, so now we can click on next. So now it's asking for advanced settings. So auto response just means that we can automatically reply to the entry. But what we'll do is we'll leave that for now, and we'll look at notification settings. So with notifications, you can either have email notifications where you can get an email when a new one comes in, or we can use in-app notifications where you'll get a little pop-up on the screen in the app, and also you can see here it will come under notifications. So we'll use that. So we click on in-app notifications, and so who should receive the notifications? For this case, we'll just toggle this one to on. So Alfianel will receive the notifications. Okay, so now if we click on create process, it has created the process successfully. So now if we go back to parish processes, we can see that this process has been created. So if we click on this, since we set this to be a public process, we have a share button. Okay, so if I click on the share button and I go to a new tab and paste, then you can see here that it takes me to an online form, and we have the text that we put in, and we have the fields as well. So one thing to note here is that we made a staff only field for the date of baptism, and it doesn't appear here because we said that that's only for the admin use. So what I'll do here is I'll go ahead and quickly fill in this form, and if I click on submit, you'll see that we receive a notification for the new entry. And if I click on notifications, we have a notification to say that there's a new submission for baptism applications. So if I click on this, it takes me to the application that was submitted. And as well as that, if I go to the Parish Processes baptism applications, then I can see that application here. And one thing to note is that it fills out the status with the first tracking step, or the first status. Okay, so another thing to note is now when we click on this application, since we're viewing as the admin or staff, we now have the option to fill out the date of baptism field. Okay, so another way that we can make entries is if we go back, we can create a new entry from inside the software. And since we're filling out as an administrator or a staff, so we have the option to fill out the date of baptism field. Okay, so that's a quick overview. And if you ever wanted to fill out or print off a blank paper form, you could do this by clicking on print blank, choose an icon, click confirm, and you have that online application form in a paper printable version. Okay, so if you already had some entries in like a Excel spreadsheet or on paper forms, you could import these into the software, but we can cover this in another video.